Hello everyone and welcome back to a very exciting chess game, and I have a fantastic romantic chess game by the legend Adolf Anderssen, and his opponent was Karl Mayet, German chess master. So Adolf Anderssen was actually unofficially recognized world chess champion, and he lost his title to Paul Morphy. After Paul Morphy's retirement, he played a match with Wilhelm Steinitz. He regained automatically his unofficial title, and then he finally lost to Wilhelm Steinitz. So he was a very important chess player, and he is one of the most legendary romantic chess players of all times with his attacking romantic style. So Adolf Anderssen starts the game with e4, we have e5, and then we have basically the Italian game Evans Gambit. Bishop takes on b4, the Evans Gambit accepted. c3, after defending the bishop, Adolf Anderssen castled, and finally pushing to the pawn. This is very standard in the Evans Gambit. After defending the bishop, d5, sometimes white plays queen to b3, double attacking on f7. Evans Gambit is rarely used in these days, but I think if your opponent doesn't know what to do, if he doesn't know much theory, you can defeat many amateur chess players with playing the Evans Gambit, even in today. And I think you can even beat very high-rated chess grandmasters, chess masters, maybe not grandmasters, but high-rated chess players with playing the Evans Gambit in speed chess games. So it is also a very good opening for speed chess. Anyway, after d5, defending the knight, and this was not a good move. Knight to a5 should have been considered, at least that would be much more active, but this was a passive move. And now developing the bishop, bishop to b2, a very natural move, and also targeting on g7. So black is defending like this after pushing the f-pawn, and this was the second nail on the coffin. Basically developing the knight should have been considered. I mean, why don't you develop the knight and you are only one move away for castling? So f6 was not a good move, and when your opponent king haven't castled, pushing the e or the d pawn is one of the best things that you can do, as they say, and this is what Adolf Anderssen did. He is following the general principle. So d takes on e5, accepting, so capturing the pawn. And what would you do in this position? Now Adolf Anderssen captured the e-pawn, but how would you capture that pawn? With the bishop or with the knight? And can you see why capturing that pawn with one of those pieces is better? Can you see the difference? What would you do in this position? So Adolf Anderssen, this is a small spoiler, he captured the pawn with a piece, sacrificing a piece. But which piece that you would use to capture the pawn? The knight or the bishop? Well, if you said I would capture the pawn with the knight, then you are correct. This is what Adolf Anderssen did, and this is a knight sacrifice. So the reason why Adolf Anderssen captured the pawn with the knight is because he wanted to open the queen as well, and black can never capture the knight. Black played knight to e7. If a careless move, something like capturing the knight, then queen to h5. And if blocking, then that is no good, because this is losing. And if king to f8, then we have check the diagonal of that. So let's say if not blocking with the queen, let's say blocking with the knight, white has a very strong move in this position. Can you see that move? Okay, that is d6, and black can safely resign. Basically, in this position, this is double threat, both attacking the knight, check, forking king and the queen, and also threatening checkmate. There is no defense, not at all. So after queen to h5, if king to d7, then another diagonal of that. So defending, capturing, and then rook check, and you get the picture. There is no defense. So this was the idea of Adolf Anderssen. Queen check is a threat, so knight to e7, but white has a very strong attacking position, and Anderssen played a cool move. He played queen to h5. If black moves the king, he is getting checkmated, so black pushed the pawn and this was an interesting position. Both the knight and the queen is under attack. But Anderssen simply captures, so if capturing back with the pawn, capturing the rook, what else? And then rook to e1, but the e file is open and this is pinning the knight as well. So you can only move the king and then discovered check. Amazing attack by Adolf Anderssen, an amazing chess game. King to g7, what else? And then Anderssen played another very cool move. What would you do in this position? Did you see the move? Okay, so Anderssen played rook to e7. What a move, sacrificing the exchange. But black desperately captured the rook with the queen. Let me tell you why. Actually, if moving the king, then black is getting checkmated. This is checkmate. And if knight takes, then queen check, and this is the only move. And then bishop to c1, and how to defend? Well, this is the only defense. And then check, mate. Amazing, isn't it? So far it is a fantastic attacking chess game. So queen takes, this is why, for not getting checkmated. But black has no time for developing his pieces. Developing the knight and then rook takes on e7. Capturing the very dangerous pawn. And what would you do again if you had the white pieces? Let's guess one more move for white. White has a very strong move here, which is a very obvious move. That is knight to d5, of course, forking the rook and the f-pawn. So double attacking the f-pawn. If capturing, black is in big trouble. So this is why desperately blocking with the rook, and Anderssen simply captured, and this is falling apart. Of course, if knight takes knight, then queen to f7. Also attacking the knight, so knight to d7, finally developing the piece, and then rook over, knight to f6, checking the king, also saving the queen, and rook to f8, g4 by Adolf Anderssen, g5 is coming, so king to h8, and we see another very cool move by Anderssen. He played actually this very beautiful move, a deflection move by Adolf Anderssen, rook to d8, and Mayet didn't capture the rook. He played king to g7, not accepting the sacrifice. Actually, this is not even a sacrifice. This is a deflection move, because if capturing the rook, then queen takes on f6, and black is getting checkmated. So rook to d8, king to g7, and then g5. After defending the knight, it looks like after moving the queen, black is going to capture the f-pawn. What would you do? Anderssen played the final move of this chess game, and after that move, black resigned, because black has no defense after Anderssen's next move. Well, you might consider maybe queen to d7, checking the king, and black can't even block with the rook, but Anderssen played much more aesthetic, amazing move. He played rook takes knight, boom, and black resigned. Well, let me show you the possible continuation. Well, Anderssen is sacrificing the queen. If capturing the queen, then rook to g8, check, mate. Amazing. And after this fantastic move, let's say rook takes on e8, then queen to f6 is checkmate, and black has no defense. Very beautiful chess game by Adolf Anderssen, not very well known, but this was a fantastic, amazing attacking chess game by Adolf Anderssen. A piece of art. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and bye bye.